What's up, people? Jay here on behalf of PWFEmpire.com with my WWE Royal Rumble 2017 review. On the road to WrestleMania, we have new champions, and speaking of WrestleMania, that main event picture is looking a little bit clearer with Randy Orton winning the 2017 Royal Rumble match. Now, I know there are a lot of folks out there, judging by who won the Royal Rumble and then who won the WWE Championship, you're hoping that picture isn't too clear because, yeah, we got some stuff to talk about, but we got a long time from here until WrestleMania to talk about it. For tonight, let's go ahead and kick it off with the first match on the Royal Rumble. The first match on the Royal Rumble main show was Charlotte defending her Raw Women's Championship versus Bayley. This wasn't too thrilling of a match. It was solid and nice effort from both competitors, but you could just tell that the objective here was not for Charlotte and Bayley to go out there and deliver the best match that they possibly could have. The story of this match was just furthering the narrative of Charlotte being this super dominant force in the Raw Women's division and being a cut above everyone else. And I think that they did a nice job of telling that story throughout the match, mainly in part due to Charlotte being such a friggin' awesome heel. And I don't give a damn what anybody says about Charlotte at all. That's my homegirl. She's doing a great job with this character, and one of the big things that I've regretted about not watching Monday Night Raw on a week-to-week basis is missing out on what Charlotte has been doing as a Raw Women's Champion, because I thought that she was really good in her characterization in the feud with Sasha Banks, and she was so damn good. I honestly wish that there was a male character on Monday Night Raw that had the legitimacy and just the arrogance and the cockiness that Charlotte had, and that continued with every single thing that they do. And you could just see the arrogance that she displayed in the ring anytime that she attacked Bayley. And speaking of attacks, the highlight of the match for me was the ending with the natural selection on the ring apron. That came out of nowhere. And I was wondering, like, okay, where do we go from this point? And she knocks Bayley, to the outside of the ring, and then she starts to crawl up and she hits her with natural selection right there on the ring apron. I was like, okay, goddamn. I like this from Charlotte. Like I said, that's my homegirl. And one thing that I'll be looking forward to, because like I said, they did such a wonderful job of establishing that Charlotte is just better than everyone in the Raw Women's division. And you could tell that the establishment of Charlotte being the queen of WWE, it never was really at any point of a serious threat during this match. What happens with Bayley from a storyline perspective that unlocks that killer instinct with her, that puts her closer to that level of Charlotte in anticipation for her winning that Raw Women's Championship someday? Because you have to expect that it's going to happen at some point. What is going to be that turning point, that catalyst that unlocks that killer instinct in Bayley? But for now, nice step to get us to wherever it is that we'll eventually be going. The next match at the Royal Rumble was for the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Kevin James, or I guess I could actually call him Kevin Owens tonight, because he was more than the usual comedian that he is on Monday Night Raw. I'm just not a fan at all of the best friend bullshit with him and Chris Jericho, and I understand a lot of people are entertained by it. They find them absolutely hilarious. It's just that I hold Kevin Owens to a higher standard than that. I look at what he did in this match and him being in that element that I think that he should be. Like, this was pitch perfect for Kevin Owens when he did the frog splash to Roman Reigns, who was laid out on the table on the outside of the ring. That was great stuff. The taunting him with the brass knuckles and the Superman punch, that was nice. Then you had him pull a friggin' Stone Cold Stunner out of nowhere. And yeah, Kevin Owens overall, he was a badass in this match. And you want to talk about him being a badass, when he realized that stunner wasn't enough, he kicked up the frustration to another level, and he was, reaching down deep with the aggression, beating down Roman Reigns. But it didn't last too long, because sometime after that, Roman Reigns hit him with a Superman punch. He falls through the chairs that were set up on the outside of the ring. Then Roman powerbombs him through the table, and I knew at that point to expect some kind of fuckery, because Kevin Owens was outside of the ring. This dude was dead, showing no form, no signs of life at all. And for Roman Reigns to hit him with the Superman punch through the chairs, then to powerbomb him, and then to throw him in the ring, in anticipation for a spear. all of that time, like I said, Kevin Owens showed absolutely no signs of life at all. And with all of that time passing by, you had to feel that something was going to happen. Some fuckery was, about to arrive. And I guess Braun Strowman, he was exactly that. He chokeslammed Roman Reigns onto the table on the outside of the ring and then power slammed him through a table in the ring, and Kevin Owens throws the arm over Roman Reigns. This does provide a little interesting wrinkle in the story, what's going to happen with Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns from this point. But for all of that being said, and let me just go ahead and also say that this was a nice match from both guys. Some good stuff from Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. But at the end of the day, when you look at the finish of that match, it does absolutely nothing for the character of Kevin Owens, nor does it do anything for the Universal Championship. I was about to say the Universal Championship is on life support, but it's not. That title is dead. That title is a motherfucking zombie just roaming about. There's nothing substantive with that title, no type of prestige, no type of legitimacy, and WWE hasn't done a goddamn thing to attempt to build that up. I remember a few weeks ago, Kevin Owens was in the ring with Goldberg, and they were going back and forth, and Kevin, all of a sudden, he goes, you can't talk to me that way. I'm the WWE Universal Champion. And I'm sitting there like, and? The fuck does that mean? Like, seriously, what does that mean? That title has no value in any way, shape, or form. And that's why I said Charlotte, she's just done such a great job with the Women's Championship that I wish we had a figure like that to do something for the Universal title, because Kevin Owens, he's just not cutting it at all. Like, I don't get what is... He's a comedian. He's a comedian and he's a joke now too. That's what I see when I look at Kevin Owens. So yeah, nice heavyweight bout from Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. But yeah, I see nothing in that guy at all at this point. Continuing on with the championship trend of the Royal Rumble, we had the Cruiserweight title on the line in this next match with Rich Swann defending versus Neville. Neville ended up winning the match, and he is now the Cruiserweight champion. He has officially claimed that throne as a king of the Cruiserweights, and as far as I'm concerned, this match could not have ended in any other way. Under no circumstances would I have accepted Neville not walking out of the Royal Rumble as a Cruiserweight champion, because I look at this as an acknowledgement of him being a breath of fresh air to the Cruiserweight division. He's been the best thing to happen to that division since the Cruiserweight Classic, bar none. And not only is he the best thing in the Cruiserweight division, I would honestly rank Neville #1 as the best character in WWE overall. He's doing such a wonderful job in this new heel role of his, this very gritty and grizzled veteran that feels as if he has something to prove, because he was looked over for the Cruiserweight Classic, and he's like, I'm just sitting here collecting this dust, and I'm the best Cruiserweight in the entire friggin' world, and you were just gonna look over me? So now he's running roughshod over the Cruiserweight division. He had so much momentum at his back going into this match, and you could just see that story play out, or at least I could see the story play out, because I'm invested in these characters. I'm invested in the feud that they have, so I could see the story play out in the ring that Neville, he had all of this momentum at his back, and Rich Swann, as the Cruiserweight champion, was the last line of defense to prevent this hostile takeover of the Cruiserweight division from Neville, but to no avail, because Neville ends up winning. And yeah, this was a damn good match. I love the intensity in the match and the athleticism. We had some great stuff like Neville jumping, from the top rope, launching himself towards Rich Swann, but Rich Swann hitting him with the super kick, and a lot of other great stuff like that submission, that armbar, that scissors armbar that Neville does. I really like that. It looks so damn painful, and I like the fact that he's using that and other moves as finishers and things like that to kind of move away from a fan favorite move like the Red Arrow. It's just little stuff like that that adds up to Neville being such a wonderful heel, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for Neville with that Cruiserweight Championship. I'm hoping that he continues to do exactly what it is that he's been doing, kicking ass, taking names. Him and Rich Swann, they had some great chemistry in this match, and I look forward to seeing them face each other once again, because this was really good. I can't stop singing the praises of this match. And if you guys are not into the 205 Live start watching the show. Please, it's not just flippy shit. And if you say it's flippy shit, you can catch me outside. How about that? Like, fight me. Seriously, because it's not just flippy shit. There's some great storytelling, and I just think that that show has a very nice structure to it, and I wish that people would give it a chance. Just give them a chance to possibly see if you could get invested in those characters, because I think that all of the people who are missing out on 205 Live, you're missing out on some good stuff. Neville being number one there. Holy shit. So what I've been doing with this review is watching the matches and then immediately recording my thoughts on them right after. So John Cena is still celebrating in the ring right now as I'm speaking to you all. And I just witnessed history being made. John Cena, after 2017 Royal Rumble, is officially a 16-time world champion, tying the great Ric Flair for the most world championships in wrestling history. And man, there's just so much to process about this match. You take into account, speaking of Ric Flair, that point in the match where John Cena put the figure 4 on AJ, and they were talking about how Ric Flair won a title with the figure 4 at the Royal Rumble. What was it, 25 years ago, and John Cena attempting to do the very same thing here. And the way in which the match ended, John Cena hitting AJ Styles with the attitude adjustment and not even pinning him, just rolling through and hitting him with the attitude adjustment once again, just to put that final touch on there to lead him to victory. That was some great shit. And AJ Styles, I mean, he should be used to that at this point, because that's something that they love to do in New Japan and those main event matches over there. You know, hit the finisher twice and not even with a pin in between, just to put that exclamation point at the end of the match. But yeah, talk about exclamation points. There are a friggin' million exclamation points on this one. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best match in the year so far. And that's not saying much, because shit, it's just the end of January. We got a lot of time to go in the rest of the year, but it's going to be very difficult for any match to come anywhere near what this match was. You start out the match and it was just amazing from start to finish. AJ Styles and the mastery that he competes in the ring with. There's just something so great and awe-inspiring, truly awe-inspiring. It's wonderful just to sit back and watch AJ Styles do what he does in the ring. It's just so damn great. And then John Cena just trying to battle back in that. And you look at the dynamic that exists between those two. You have this now 16-time, but at the time 15-time world champion in John Cena trying to figure out AJ Styles, because he's just that damn good in the ring. And you just see that battle going back and forth. And the first time that John Cena hit the attitude adjustment and AJ Styles kicked out, it's like he fucking turned Super Saiyan in the corner. He's like over there flexing and stuff like that. I'm like, God damn, what the hell is going on with this guy over there? And he just kicked it into another gear. And I don't feel as if this match at any point slowed down at all. I don't know how they just did what they did, but they fucking did it. And it was absolutely amazing. My God, I could sit here honestly for the rest of this video just going off and just delivering so much praise to just the premier talent that is AJ Styles, the amazingness that is John Cena, just great stuff all around. Now, I love how this match you had AJ Styles, he was out wrestling John Cena, and John Cena attempted to outpower him, but then you have AJ Styles over there, the student of the game. You look at the point where John Cena nearly took AJ's head off with that friggin' clothesline. You could see in the replay when they did it in slow-mo, like the ripples throughout AJ's body, like the dude was in a fucking car wreck or something like that. That's how hard Cena hit him. Then Cena goes for another one, but AJ is like, dude, I got you this time. And he answered back. The submission sequences that they went on, wonderful stuff. My God, I loved every single second of this match. This is most certainly, the best match that they've had so far. And like I said, very early match of the year contender. And yeah, wow. Fucking AJ Styles and John Cena. And now John Cena is the new WWE champion. God damn. A lot of stuff to process here, but I said it a million times already. I'll say it again. Fucking awesome match. Alrighty guys, the 2017 Royal Rumble match, the main event. I actually had to take notes on this one because, as you guys know, the Royal Rumble is a long ass match and there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of different stories being told, and I had to basically type everything out, and honestly, I don't even know where to begin. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give a nod to my Harry Potter fandom, and I'm gonna open at the close with Randy Orton winning the 2017 Royal Rumble. Let me go ahead, and I don't know whether to like give a side eye to WWE or give a tip to my invisible hat. I see what y'all did, having Roman Reigns be the runner-up to the Royal Rumble and basically him there as that heat magnet, because it didn't matter who the fuck won the 2017 Royal Rumble. As long as Roman Reigns was there, he was gonna draw in all of the boos, because we know people don't like Roman Reigns, and they have this thing going on in their mind where it's anybody but Reigns. So shit, you could have had anybody in that position, honestly, and the fans would have, cheered for it just because Roman Reigns was the last person to be eliminated from the match. So WWE did that, and it preserves the moment, so we won't look back in history and say, oh, the crowd rejected Randy Orton immediately as a Royal Rumble winner. But at the very same time, that's them acknowledging how they fucked up the Roman Reigns character, because if you use him as that heat magnet, you're acknowledging that your booking has led to him being that. So I'm sitting here right now saying, okay, well, what the fuck are you going to do about it now? Are you going to continue to use him in this way? Or are you going to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, we've made some mistakes and try to, take a different route? But, that's my little commentary on that. Randy Orton winning the Royal Rumble. This is not exciting at all. It worked in that immediate moment to where they're not going to reject him, but a person like me, shit, I ain't in the arena. I can sit back and take a few minutes to process and digest what's going on. And I look at Randy Orton and I see a person who is a shell of his former self. It's not as bad as it was when he was basically Triple H's bitch when he was in the Authority, but Randy Orton is in a faction right now where he doesn't even get top billing. Randy Orton is a Wyatt. And I would understand maybe if it was a situation where Bray Wyatt was harnessing the power of Randy Orton and using him as some kind of lethal weapon to wreak havoc on SmackDown Live, to wreak havoc on WWE as a whole, but it's not even being executed in that way. When you look at what the Wyatt family has done since Randy Orton joined, the most damage that they've done has been to what? Heath Slater and Rhino, and then themselves. Like, there's more infighting than anything else. So I look at Randy Orton, and the story of him is not even the 12-time world champion, the legend. He went from being a legend killer to a legend himself. I don't see that Randy Orton when he steps out on the screen. So when he won, and all of what I just talked about, you had the shitty feud with Bray Wyatt, and then he ends up aligning himself with Bray Wyatt, and that's not even much there. That's everything that Randy Orton has done for these past few months, and that leads him into a Royal Rumble win? What? But, Roman Reigns didn't win, so I guess everybody's happy? Yeah, that was, that wasn't a good winner as far as I'm concerned. Let's talk about some things that happened in this match itself. Braun friggin' Strowman, this dude, he was the Royal Rumble for as long as he was in there. You had some great stuff with him, Mark Henry, him, The Big Show, James Ellsworth. I loved how they used James Ellsworth in this match. And for a second, I totally forgot that James Ellsworth was introduced into the WWE Universe as a jobber for Braun Strowman, but he just blew up after that point, and he became whatever it is that he is on SmackDown. But that was very nice of them to utilize Braun Strowman in that way to basically distract us so I believe it was Tye Dillinger and Sami Zayn could try to eliminate Braun Strowman. I really liked that moment. And then when Dean Ambrose, he was hyping James Ellsworth up to get into the ring. That was some nice stuff. That was an effective utilization of James Ellsworth, because we've seen them go way far overboard with that fucking dude over on SmackDown. But I like the way that they used him as a little bit of comedy in the match. So that was some good stuff there. When Baron Corbin was jogging his way down to the ring. If you guys don't know this, I'm a Baron Corbin fan. I've liked Baron Corbin since his days back in NXT, him on Breaking Ground. That was some great shit. When he was jogging down to the ring, I'm thinking to myself, I'm hoping my homeboy, Baron Corbin, has some good shit to do in this Royal Rumble. I'm hoping that they booked him to look strong in the Royal Rumble. Who would have friggin' known that Baron Corbin gets into the ring and he eliminates Braun Strowman? I'm like, well, I wanted you to do some good stuff, but goddamn, like eliminating Braun Strowman? What? I do have to say this, though. I wish that they would have had them mix it up just a little bit more, like a battle of these, super heavyweights. Well, I don't know if Baron Corbin would fit it, but he's tall, so it kind of fits. I wish that they would have had them mix it up a bit more one-on-one to signify really that this was the passing of the torch of the dominant guy in the Royal Rumble from Braun Strowman to Baron Corbin, because for so much of the Royal Rumble to be centered around centered around Braun Strowman, and for him to be eliminated, in the way that he was, it kind of, let the air out of the balloon, so to say. You can tell that the crowd kind of dropped down. So I don't think that they did a good enough job of establishing that, okay, well, this is the passing of the torch. We're going to take it from Braun Strowman and these goddamn bees. Man, we're going to take it from Braun and pass it over to Baron Corbin. But, yeah, so Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman, goddamn these bees. Man, Braun Strowman, he was a highlight of the Royal Rumble match for me. Now, we know Kofi Kingston, he's known for these spots that he does to evade elimination. There was this spot, I guess this was the spot in this match where he, positioned himself on the ring post, and it took a long time for it to set up. And Baron Corbin was just standing there, and he kind of figured out what to do. He started pointing at Kofi, asking him, was he stupid, instead of attempting to eliminate him, while Kofi, took all of this goddamn time to set up. And then once he actually gets up there, he, I guess Baron lunges towards him, and Kofi, like, his chest crashed down on the top of the ring post, and he kind of slid down a little bit, but he held on and, eventually brought himself back into the ring. If that was the spot, yeah, that didn't work for me, because it was way too cringeworthy and scary for me to be entertained. I was sitting there not like, oh my God, what athleticism. I'm like, God damn, is he all right? Somebody check on this dude and see what's going on. But speaking of Kofi Kingston, the other members of the New Day, they made their way into the ring, and they were eliminated by Sheamus and Cesaro. And then I forget who specifically it was, but either Sheamus or Cesaro tried to eliminate the other, and then they both ended up being eliminated by Chris Jericho. They were arguing on the outside of the ring. Chris Jericho stayed in this match for a long time, but he did not stay in the ring for a long time, because his ass kept slipping out of the ring and disappearing. And I was like, where is Chris Jericho? Like, did he get eliminated and I missed it? Because I was, tracking on all of the eliminations, and I didn't see Chris Jericho's name being eliminated, but I didn't see his ass in the ring either. So I'm wondering what's going on here, but he kept slipping in and out of the ring. You had Brock Lesnar come in, run roughshod over the match. He eliminated a few folks. You had Goldberg come in at 28. Brock came in at 26. Enzo at 27. Which, it was so funny because they were hyping up the number 27 spot, talking about, oh, this is the luckiest spot in the Royal Rumble. Number 27. Who has the fortunate fate of being at number 27? Enzo Amore's music hit. That guy comes out to the ring. Brock Lesnar nearly murders his ass. That was funny. Then the next person to enter was Goldberg. They were, hitting it late on in the Rumble. We had Lesnar at 26, Goldberg 28, Undertaker 29, and Goldberg ended up eliminating Brock Lesnar, spearing him, catching him basically in the same way that he did at Survivor Series and eliminating him. I liked how they were talking on the announcer at the commentary table how Goldberg has Brock Lesnar's number. So you know that this is going to be a WrestleMania match. Shit, I knew this even before the Royal Rumble. That's why I did not pick either of those guys to win, because there's no way in hell that those two guys would not be facing each other at the WrestleMania. But I gotta say this, because I do have an issue with the way that WWE books. Well, let me say I have an issue with the way that WWE books Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, and Undertaker in comparison to the people who are on the roster, you know, on a week-to-week basis, because it's like, it pales in comparison. Like, these guys, they are legit stars. So it's not that I have an issue with them per se. It's just that, why don't you let some of that rub off on the people who are actually there on a week-to-week basis? But I gotta say this. When Goldberg was coming down to the ring, I felt something. When the camera kept cutting back and forth between him and Brock Lesnar, I was like, holy shit. This is a moment. And I felt like a chill run down my spine, because it was just, that was some good shit. Like, just to see these huge stars preparing for battle, these monsters, that was some great stuff. So the star power that emanates from them, it's a great thing. Yeah, so you got that. What else did we have? Roman Reigns coming in at number 30. That's the spot that everybody always gets hyped up for, because it's the last entrant in the Royal Rumble. I don't know how many times WWE is going to pull some fuckery for people to realize, stop getting so hyped up over the number 30 spot. Remember a few years ago when they put Rey Mysterio in at number 30? I felt so sorry for that dude. Like, why would you do this to him? And everybody is just, you know, they're so giddy, getting ready for Daniel Bryan, just thinking that it's going to be him. But nope. Rey Mysterio. So, yeah, this isn't the first time that WWE has done this. And I'm at a point right now where I don't even really get hyped up over it, because it's like, okay, well, if it happens, that's wonderful. If it doesn't, you motherfuckers aren't going to disappoint me at all. And I got to say, I was not disappointed when Roman Reigns got into the ring and he eliminated The Undertaker. I, of course, would have liked to see The Undertaker win. That was my pick going into the show. But that moment where you had Roman Reigns yelling, you know, that non-mic work at The Undertaker, and that look that he had on his face when he said, "This is my yard now," that was the second time I got that chill going down. Well, actually, when they had the face-off in the ring, so when Roman Reigns got into the ring and, you know, everybody else was laid out except for The Undertaker, and they went head-to-head, I felt it too. I felt something right there. So, I don't know what they got planned, but Roman Reigns, Undertaker, it's an option. So, yeah, Roman Reigns ends up eliminating The Undertaker. I actually liked that moment after he eliminated him. And like I said, he was like, "This is my yard now." And you had Undertaker and that cameraman that was, you know, coincidentally in the position of having The Undertaker right there and the WrestleMania sign up in the, you know, the background. Interesting. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, let's see. The first 4 people in this match, I didn't give a shit. Like, for all of those people who were coming in and whatever it was that they were doing in the ring wasn't entertaining at all. It didn't really start to pick up until Jack Gallagher got into the ring with the umbrella, and then you had Mark Henry, and then Braun Strowman, and then Sami Zayn, Big Show, Tye Dillinger in at number 10. I'm so glad that they did that, because it would have been petty as hell if they did not have Tye Dillinger in at number 10. Like, come on, it just friggin' fits. So I'm glad that they, you know, gave that little crumb to the fans, having Tye Dillinger, you know, the perfect 10 come in at number 10. Yeah, I was really entertained by the Royal Rumble this year, but at the end of the day, with Randy Orton winning, he just didn't have enough momentum or anything going for his character for me to look at this and say that this was a good move to make. Now, of course, I'll be sitting back watching and seeing how everything plays out. We have Randy Orton as the winner of the Royal Rumble, John Cena as the new WWE champion. Yeah. Okay. See you at Elimination Chamber. I don't even see. There's way too much going on for me to process that shit beyond that. So you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and end this video right here. And thank you all for tuning in. Go ahead and give this video a thumb, whichever one you decide it deserves. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Leave a comment. What did you think about the Royal Rumble? All of the matches, all of that good stuff. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.